going on, good people? How we doing? Happy Saturday, everybody. We still celebrating this win. First off, though, let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. My man Prince Castro in the building with the Fee 5 from. I see you. How we doing tonight? Let me turn this music down just a little bit. Again, shout out to my son for the beat. How we doing tonight, though? We still celebrating this win. Guess what? It's still week 6. It's still week 6. We still celebrating this win. Let me know if I'm good. Shout out to everybody that's already in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. When you hit that like button, it'll let the algorithm know that we in the building, and the algorithm will let other Giants fans know that we in the building. It's also appreciated. So please, please, please hit that like button on the way in. I see there's already a lot of people going to do a quick roll call. Today's going to be a little bit different. Why? Because we're not previewing the game tonight. We're not previewing the game for tomorrow's matchup. Why? Because we already took care of business this week. We already whooped up on the Philadelphia Eagles, and it felt so good. It felt so right. I'm still going to enjoy this win, but we still have some things to talk about because there's a lot of season left. And oh, what a difference. Oh, what a difference a game makes. I remember last week's vibe. Right before the game, I remember how I was feeling. I don't know how everybody else was feeling. I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I was not in a good place when I was thinking about this team, and what a difference a week makes. What a difference a game makes, I should say. It's a lot of good vibes, man. Shout out to Dart. Shout out to Cam Scatterboo. 2 rookies. Just giving this team everything they have. Shout out to Cordell Flott. Shout out to Brian Burns. Shout out to Kayvon Thibodeau. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson for stepping up as well. We got some things to talk about, man. So first, I'm going to just give a shout out to my man, Tony Benino. He says, best move Giants made was passing on Sanders with the number 3 pick and taking Carter and then Dart. People still worried about... Listen, as big of a Sanders fan that I am still to this day, it is what it is. If I'm over it, everybody else should be over it too. Jerry is in the building. What's going on, Jerry? He said, what up, Dash? I have confidence in my team now. That's a fact. That's a fact. Independent outsider. What's going on, Dave? He says, I owe Cordell Flott an apology. Crapped all over that pick for 2 years. Glad he's really showing some skills lately. Now let's see if the Giants actually re-sign him. One thing that I've been saying about Cordell Flott, no matter where he was at, he proved or he showed every year that he did get better. No matter who we tried to put in front of him, he just kept his head down and kept working. And every year he improved. And he stepped up in a big way on Thursday night for sure. Let me just make sure that I'm good. Let me know that I'm good. I'm good. Okay, I believe you guys hear me because I don't see no thumbs up or nobody saying I'm good. So I'm assuming everything is all right. Let me go ahead and put the comments up so you guys can see them as well as they come in. So, man, how we feeling, man? We still celebrating out here? What happened on Friday morning when you went to work? Did you run into that Eagles fan that's in the office? Did you run into that Eagles fan at work? Did you talk to that family member that was an Eagles fan? Did you send that text message in the morning? Did you? I saw some people say they couldn't wait to talk to their friends that were Eagles fans or that person that's in the office. They didn't even waste time. Some people was getting text messages late night, Thursday, Friday morning. Couldn't wait to talk trash to these people. And why not? As bad as these people talk about us, why wouldn't we give them a taste of their own medicine? Shout out to my man Tyrone Hall in the building. Says salute Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. That's a fact. That's a fact. Junior Play says salute. Again, I already shouted out my man Prince Castro in the building. Luann said, yeah. What's going on, Luann? Kenneth Perkins in the building. Said, what up, Dash? What's going on, Kenneth? Drew Duran throwing up the dart signs. I see you. James the Giant says, yeah. Ronnie in the building with a yes. Thank you. Luann says, Dash, you still want Sanders as your quarterback? See, why people want to do that now? Why people want to do that now? This is a lovely Saturday night. The season is 6 weeks in. I already told you as soon as Shedeur Sanders was not a Giant, he's out of my mind. He's out of my mind. Do I still like Shedeur Sanders? Absolutely. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's him and Dillon Gabriel right now. But again, I don't care. Why? Because the New York Giants are playing, and they're playing well right now. So it is what it is. MJ said, "What up, my G? We're still lit." That's a fact. The energy has not gone down. I want to talk about some things though, man, because before, it's almost like BC and AD. It's like before the Eagles game and after the Eagles game. Like, how do we feel before the Eagles game and then after the Eagles game? Because right before the Eagles game, a lot of people, including myself, were already in 2026. Already lining up the mock drafts, already looking at college prospects. Still am. I love college football. We're gonna talk about some prospects for 2026 too. Maybe not prospects, but positions of need going into 2026. But we still got a lot of season left in 2025, and who knows what happens. The way Dart and Scatterboo are playing right now, providing that energy, and everybody else is feeding off of it. Who knows where this season ends? And I really do mean that. Because if you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles with the weapons that you had, it just goes to show me that Jackson Dart, he might be one of those ones. We might have one. And as a matter of fact, I think we got one. Those that are old like me, remember Ghostbusters? They got their first phone call. What she say? We got one. I think we got one with Jackson Dart. I think we got one. Shout out to the people that get that reference. Chewy Riff says, "What a great week. The mood has changed. Lots of games to be played. That's a fact." Jack Medina, what's going on, Jack? He says, "What's popping, big dog? Still enjoying the win you heard." That's a fact. Again, Tony Owen says, "Big Dash, what's up, G fam? New York Giant for life." That's a fact. Shout out to New York Giants, man. Shout out. Did you see the celebration after the game? You saw Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo at the podium with the Thursday Night Football staff. Scatterboo's ripping his shirt off, chest bumping, Fitzpatrick and all that. That's energy that we have not seen in a while. Up until last Thursday, it was 10 years since the New York Giants won a Thursday Night Football game. It was 2015 the last time we won a Thursday Night Football game. We've been horrible in the prime time. But I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and I want some participation. Fly to still a young buck, Chewy. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm gonna ask everybody a question, man, because again, I saw what the room was like before the game, and I see what the room was like after the game. What kind of run we got going right now for the New York Giants? Let me know in the comment section. Right now, the New York Giants are 2-4. The next 4 games, we got the Denver Broncos. Then we're going back to the Eagles, going to the link, the 49ers and the Bears. So let me repeat that. Broncos, Eagles, 49ers, and the Bears. If we win 3 out of those 4 games, we're 500. That means we're in the mix. We're in the mix. How many of you guys out there think we can get there? I want to know in the comment section. Again, the next 4 games, the Denver Broncos, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, they're coming out to MetLife. Chicago Bears. Let me know what y'all think. Shout out to my man Mark Stewart in the building. Says, "Salute, Big Dash." No, I know you was having fun, Mark. Mark, I know you was at the game having a hell of a time. I don't know if MetLife ever sounded like that before. I did hear a rumor though. They said it wasn't too. The crowd was not. I guess the stadium wasn't sold out too much. Rightfully so. Again, a lot of people were down on the New York Giants going into this Philadelphia Eagles game. A lot of people didn't think we had a chance to win this game. I'm guilty. But the feeling that we got after the game, from what I've been hearing out here on these Twitter streets, is the New York Giants can go on a run. We can possibly go on a run. Shout out to Lopez45 says, "Oh, we didn't have Jalen Carter. That's all they keep saying." Yo, they've been crying. Somebody told me that you guys are bragging over a hurt team. Keep on celebrating. This is y'all Super Bowl. We're injured. Quinyon Mitchell went. I don't care. You know why I don't care? because a lot of those injuries were before the game. The only person that went out early was Quinyon Mitchell. Everybody else you knew about. And I didn't hear any excuses about injuries, so I don't want to hear any of it now. I had one guy say, I'm not even going to bookmark, because he was arguing with my man Monty. Shout out to my man Monty with He's a Giant podcast, him and my man Sal. He was going back and forth with somebody, and they was talking trash, the way Eagles fans do. Again, they've been on top for a while, so rightfully so. And he's just talking, he just, well, you got to come to the link, enjoy this win. It won't last long. I told the guy, I said I had to butt in. I had to step all over his shoes. I said, just hold this L for 2 weeks. We'll see you at the link. And then we could talk about bookmarking tweets and stuff after that. But at the end of that, I still bookmark this tweet because I want to know exactly who this guy is. That way, when we do beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the link, I can go right back to his page and find him easily. Shout out to my man Trey in the building. Says, Dash, we sweep the Eagles. They will miss the playoffs. Remember, I said it. Shout out to my man Trey, man. Trey is a day one. Trey is absolutely a day one from the Twitter days. Back before my name on Twitter was Big Dash. Some people know me as Vauxhall. So, shout out to my man Trey, man. That's the day one guy right there for sure. Dope Boy Zai, what's going on? He says, we live, just ate some tuna, ceviche off that fire. He says, Dope Boy got the Zai. Understand me? You spitting bars? Big Blue stand up. He says, Big Dash, what's happening? My man out here spitting bars, man. Jose, what's going on? Still feeling great. Everybody feeling great. Let me get to the bottom of this section because I do want to see what people have to say. Shout out to Ronnie saying, get those likes up. That's a fact. Get the likes up. 109 people in the building now. Make sure you hit that like button on the way. And my man TD Midas says, New Jack City. That's a fact. Solution says, complete 180. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The feeling is crazy. Some people that I've been listening to for a while, just chop it up all the time in the spaces before that Philly game, before the kickoff. Like, I don't know where we're going to get our next win. Look at this schedule. Same people. Shout out to my man D-Kit too, man. Same people turned around today talking about, hey, we can go on a run. How about we get to 5-4? That's the kind of difference that Thursday night game made. Because, again, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. At the end of the day, with all their injuries and issues that they've been having, they were still 4-1. And when you look at the New York Giants, 2 wins this season. Again, we only got 2 wins. It might feel like more right there because we feel real good right now. But our 2 wins were against the Chargers and the Eagles. And both of those guys are considered to be contenders. And we beat 2 contenders. And shout out to my man Ron Effect, too, because Ron Effect did a video. And he was saying, like, man, this win makes me even more mad about the Saints loss. And I'm right there with him. Because if we win that Saints game right now, we're 3-3. If we win that Dallas game like we should have without that 25 seconds, we'll be 4-2 right now. I can't cry with spilled milk. I just want people to know that. Maybe we are closer than we think. And I don't think that game, well, I know that game wasn't fluky at all, because some people say, oh, it's a trap game. It was a fluke. You guys are fluky. No, I'm sorry. That's not what happened. We dominated for 4 quarters. And when we needed to close out the game, what did they do? They gave it to the rookie Cam Scatterbull, and he delivered. Victory formation, took the kneel, and we got out of there. Shout out to the New York Giants. Let me get to some of these super chats. Shout out to my man 42 Slug. Might be, I'm assuming he might be a man or not. Respectfully. He says, Adam Schefter says something about Darius Slayton trade and a second-round pick. First of all, nobody's trading a second-round pick for Darius Slayton. So if you heard that, you got to show me the Carfax. Send it to me on Twitter. Because let me tell you something right now. If you want to give me a second-round pick for Darius Slayton, sold. A second-round pick? Are you kidding me? You see the receivers coming out next year? I don't think that's happening. Not a second-round pick. That's crazy. Shout out to Ronnie Rivers with the $1.99 super chat. Says, one man shouldn't stop no show. Now, that's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Phil. He's with the $5 super chat says, Dash, only 2 ways we lose. 1, we make tons of mistakes, 5 straight turnovers. 2, we get punched in the mouth harder. Listen, man. You know what's different about this Philadelphia Eagles game? Like we went up 13-3, and they ended up taking the lead from us. Right? But at there wasn't a point in this game where I was really too worried. Actually, I'm lying. I'm lying because I was nervous the whole doggone game. I told you guys after the game, we were up 17 points with like 5 minutes left. My wife had to slap me on the shoulder, tell me, calm down. There's only 5 minutes left. You're up 17 points. There's no way they're coming back. Shout out to Mrs. Dash. My man Trey says we end up 8-9, Dash, and we'll be and I will be happy with that, to be honest. The way that I feel right now, Trey, go ahead and flip that. Flip that to 9-8, and I'm good with that. My man Jarius said 4-0 for the next 4 weeks. I'm loving that. Mr. Cheesecake, what's going on, Mr. Cheesecake? Mr. Cheesecake keeps it real. You see, he said, I think 2-2 is realistic. 2-2 gets us to what, 4-6? You know, if you told me, and after 10 weeks we'll be 4-6, I would take it. I would take it because I know the back end of this schedule is not that bad. Like the beginning of the schedule, the middle of the schedule, that's where all the meat and potatoes are in this season. Once we get to that back end, pause. Respect your opponents at the end of the day. Respect your opponents at the end of the day. But that's where the schedule seems to be a little bit lighter on the back end. Pause. My man MJ says, I'm going to say we go 2-2, but 3-1 is possible. Anything's possible. Shout out to Kevin Garnett. My man Trey says we missed the playoffs by 1 game. Listen, man, we're not going to do that. It's too early. It's too early. If you asked me last week, I said, yeah, you're right. This week, it's a new energy. It's a new vibe. Everybody keeps saying there's new juice. It's funny because everybody's saying juice. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Juice. When did people start using juice like that? I don't know. We are drinking the blue Kool-Aid, though. That's a fact. I think I done down about a gallon of Kool-Aid since Thursday, to be honest. I'm live right now. Shout out to my man Born for Sports in the building, said 3-1. If you're not subscribed to my man Born for Sports, make sure you go ahead and do that. Not only a fantastic Giants content creator, a great New York sports content creator. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that man for sure. Lopez 45 says, wait till Abdul Carter erupts. It's coming. That's another thing that I'm waiting for, man. And again, shout out to this defense. Brian Burns is playing out of his mind. But just to ask everybody here, that'll be my second question. We're going off the cuff tonight, man. Again, there's not another opponent this week, so I don't have the previews for the game because we already won. So I'm gonna go off the cuff. I'm gonna ask some questions. Maybe we do a Q&A or something like that. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna let you guys know what I think. But you talk about Abdul Carter, right? Abdul Carter, waiting for Abdul Carter to erupt. You know who I'm still waiting on as well? Now, he did get an interception and almost got the pick six. I'm still waiting for Dex. Dex seems like he's finally coming along. But Dex don't look like Dex yet still. The other Burns is stepping up. Kayvon Thibodeaux, another guy that's playing out of his mind. I feel like he's flying under the radar a bit. If Kayvon's cousin is in the building again, let me know. We see what Kayvon is doing. Kayvon, he's not really in a contract year, but he kind of is. We picked up the 5th-year option. He pulled out all the tricks already. He's good in the run defense. He's good in pass defense. He's getting a lot of pressures. All 3 of those guys are getting pressures. Burns, Tibbs, Carter. They're getting a lot of pressures. Burns is the one getting a lot of the sacks. Tibbs is right behind him. Carter still playing a little bit of catch up. But back to my original point for right now, Dexter Lawrence. We're waiting for Carter to erupt, but what about Dexter Lawrence? Let me know what you guys think, man, while I get to these super chats again. 42 Slug says, Mint Slayton plus a 2nd-round pick for Chris Olave. Oh, okay, I got you now. I didn't hear about that, so I'll look that up, once I get off the show to see what Adam Schefter said. A 2nd-round pick for Chris Olave. Slayton and a 2nd-round pick. That's a little rich. That's a little rich for me. That second round, we already don't have a third round pick, so we talking about having one pick in the first round in 2026 and waiting until Sunday, waiting a whole day with no picks. I don't know. And what about Chris Olave makes you want to give up a second round pick for him? When I had the Saints fan on for the War Room, when he talked about Chris Olave, he said, Chris Olave is a speed guy. Chris Olave is good, but he has not quite scratched the surface of his potential yet. And he also said Chris Olave possibly does not have that dog in him. And what I know about Chris Olave is this. The man got a concussion history. And I don't like to play with concussions too much. But, if they make that kind of move, hopefully it's not a second round pick. But right now, it is what it is. Also, this, man, I think they kind of show that they can play without making that move for a big wide receiver or having that big acquisition at wide receiver. Now, not saying that you do not add talent to the roster, but it also got to make sense. It got to make sense cap-wise because, again, we're already broke, super broke. We really don't got any money. A contract's going to have to get touched in order for the New York Giants to operate for the rest of the season, especially if you make a move like bringing little Jordan Humphrey up. In my opinion, you already should have signed him to the 53. If you want to drop somebody, you can probably drop Bo Collins back down to the practice squad. He'll make it through waivers. He'll make it back to the practice squad, in my opinion. But there's no way. There's no way that you go into Denver and you don't have little Jordan Humphrey on an active 53. That's what I'm looking for, man. We saw Wan'Dale Robinson step up in a big way. We saw Jalen Hyatt get active in the game finally. I believe he had 3 catches, only had 17 yards. But again, for him, that might have felt like 100 yards for Jalen Hyatt. But the biggest thing is this, man. Wan'Dale Robinson after the game put out a tweet saying, I heard all the talking, or we heard all the talking. And I thought to myself, like, oh man, we kind of been hard on these wide receivers. Pause. And it's like, they finally, had a breakout game without, Malik Nabers. Then I said no. The way that we felt about this wide receiver room, it was valid. What happened in the Saints game, it was real. Outside of the turnovers and stuff like that, these guys needed to step up. Darius Slayton. And again, shout out to Darius Slayton, because for all the people that don't like him, I mean, we have to realize that we're going to need him for the rest of the season. And whatever mental block is happening with him, maybe he's in his head with the fumble, with the drop. I need him to get out of his head, because at the end of the day, guess what's going to happen? Dart is still going to be throwing him the ball. And we need him to go ahead and do his thing, for sure. For sure. 42 Slug with the $1.99 super chat says, second round isn't worth it to me. Nah, it's not. Not for Chris Olave. Not for Chris Olave. I'm really thinking about the money, man, because at the end of the day, man, there's some contracts coming up and people that need to get paid. And I don't want anything interrupting with that. Like a lot of people say, you know what? We got Abdul Carter so we can trade, Kayvon Thibodeau. We don't need him. But here's the thing. If you got enough money to keep all these guys, why not keep them together? Abdul Carter's on a rookie contract. And as far as I know, that bonus that they get, that's most of the contract right there. I'm not sure what he's going to be making. I have to look it up. I don't have it in front of me right now. But the average per year has to be a little bit less. You probably got that room. Again, Kayvon Thibodeau's already paid for. That money's already been taken off of the books for 2026. It's all about the extension. You got to keep these guys together as long as possible. Now, the real issue is this. Yes, we won this game. Yes, we won this game. But the defense, that secondary, that scheme, there's still some work to be done. Like, we can feel good about this defense. We can feel good about this game, and I do. Absolutely fantastic. We hung 34 points on the Eagles. We won by 17. A 3-score game at the end of the day. But when I go back and watch this game, there were some plays that the Eagles left on the field. Thank you, Jalen Hurts, for overthrowing people. Thank you, Jalen Hurts, for throwing that interception when you had A.J. Brown open in the end zone. Shout out to Cordell Flott for making a play. Shout out to Marquand Manuel, too. For the people that saw the Sight for Sound video, Marquand Manuel had mentioned, he said they're looking for the back shoulder throw. They're going to try the back shoulder throw. That's what he told the cornerbacks before they went out on that next drive. Cordell Flott listened. And as soon as they went for that back shoulder throw, wasn't a great throw by Jalen Hurts, but Cordell Flott read him the whole time, picked him off. I wish it would have been a pick six. He got hawked down by Saquon Barkley, though. It is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Ronnie. Says we might have lose picks because Dable spazzing out. Yeah. Dable going into the tent is crazy to me. The way Dable acts right now is crazy to me because you know damn well you can't go in that tent. It's an independent, independent doctor that goes in there to evaluate the quarterback. You got Cam Scatterbull running in there. You got Brian Dable sticking his head in there. You can't do stuff like that. Dable is out of his mind. Shout out to The Miz. The Miz was saying, like, Dable is excited, and he should be excited. But every time Jackson Dart comes off the field, it's a love fest. Like, we understand that you're a player's coach. We understand that you're pretty much tied to the hip of Jackson Dart. We can pretty much say, and that's going to be my next question, Jackson Dart is the one saving Brian Dable right now, but at the end, you're still a professional at the end of the day. You're still coaching all 53 guys. Jackson Dart doesn't need a hug every time he gets off the field. Am I bugging? You let me know if I'm bugging or not. You let me know. Shout out to South with the $4.99 super chat. Says, Little Jordan Humphrey, take that spot from Slayton. They don't have the same game. They don't run the same routes. But I do believe that he's going to take the spot. Like Little Jordan Humphrey's going to be, he's in front of Jalen Hyde for sure. When we get to Denver, if Darius Slayton is healthy, it's going to be Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Little Jordan Humphrey. And then whatever they have left, they're going to throw that to Jalen Hyde. Jalen Hyde is going to have to slowly improve, slowly gain the trust of the team, of the coach. And you see it. Again, if you have not seen the sight and sounds of the game, go ahead and check that out. It's a good watch. Because even after Jalen Hurts got a couple catches, Brian Dable went up to Jalen Hurts, told him that's what we need. He's happy about it. It might be a little relentless, but he had to play him. Got the job done. He got 17 yards off the same route. He moved the sticks. And I said in the live too, man, I said, outside of that Cordell Flott, because I've been rooting for Cordell Flott for a long time. I've been waiting for him to have that play, that signature play, and I think he had that. That might have been a coming out play for Cordell Flott. We'll see what happens. If he plays well in Denver, we can say that. But if Jalen Hyatt would have held on to that touchdown pass from Jackson Dart, we probably will be looking at Jalen Hyatt a little bit different this week. Right now, we're still looking at him with the side eye. Yes, you got a couple of catches, but you had that opportunity to get that touchdown. Now, it was a pass interference. He ended up getting it on the 1 yard line. Scatterbull still ended up getting the touchdown, but if he brings that one-hand touchdown in, a lot of people looking at Jalen Hyatt be like, you know what? Let's see if he can do it again. Shout out to Corp CA, says with the $5 super chat, says, with the New York Giants being in cap hell, I see us addressing our complimentary wide receiver to accompany neighbors in the first round of the draft. Absolutely. You must be looking at my notes. You're looking at my agenda for today's show. I am going to talk about wide receiver prospects going into next season because that's exactly what I'm targeting. First round, second round, there's some wide receivers that we can pair up with Malik Neighbors. And there's some guys in the first round for sure that if Malik Neighbors is slow getting back, you can kind of hold it down for him until he gets back. But shout out to everybody. Hold on, let me get back to where I was. And I do apologize if I missed your comment. Please put it in there again. Pause, and I will try to get to it. Tyrone Hall says, I picked that up too. So do the players. Nah, that's a fact. They see what's going on. Ronnie says Humphrey is 6'4". We need him. Listen, if Humphrey, we say this about the Giants all the time, man. They are reactive instead of proactive. Because everybody that's a fan, and who knows what they were saying in the building, but we thought Little Jordan Humphrey should have came up last week in the Saints game. Let's be honest. We thought it was a surprise to the beat writers that he didn't get called up. We're still waiting on Turbo too, but the way that Scatterbull is running right now, and then you got Devin Singletary all of a sudden he's up in his game too. I never seen Devin Singletary run as hard as he did in that game. He's looking at Cam Scatterable like, I can't let this rookie show me up. And then also Tyrone Tracy slowly coming back, from the shoulder. So wait till he gets healthy. I like the way this backfield is looking. The chance that Turbo Miller had is probably gone as long as Tracy is healthy. And now we got that running back crew of now the starter or the first running back out there in the committee is going to be Cam Scatterable without a doubt. And Cam Scatterable is absolutely nuts. There's a couple cards short of a deck when it comes to Cam Scatterable, and everybody loves him for it. This man is crazy. I will say this, though. He is rubbing off on Jackson Dart too much. Because Jackson Dart, you are not Cam Scatterable. Stop trying to lead with your head out of bounds, running in the linebackers. I'm glad he didn't get a flag for that. He's probably going to get a bill in the mail, though, because it was clear as day. He led with the crown of his head for no reason. I need Jackson Dart to smarten up. I don't need him to stop what he's doing, but I do need him to smarten up because I want you to be playing on I need you available. Your best ability is your availability. I need you to be smart. Prince Cash, you said I missed your super chat. Hold on. Let me get to it if I missed it. I might have got to it. My bad. Listen, man, I'm sorry. It's a lot of comments coming in here. Pause. D'Angelo Doyle says, I'll do a second round for Wandell. Oh, for Waddle. I don't think he's on the market. Right now, Tyreek Hill is done. We might not see Tyreek Hill again. Knock on wood. They're not trading Waddle at all. At least I wouldn't. Isaac Moore says, I never liked Slayton signing, but he's a Giants vet. Listen, a lot of people feel that way. I was heavy supporter for Slayton going into the season. The thing that pissed me off the most with the Slayton thing is because he had certain things to say on Twitter. He said certain things. He said something to Entertainer when Entertainer made a comment. He talked about you don't have to call the rest of us bums or something like that. And it is what it is. Nobody wants to be called a bum. But my issue with Slayton is this: when we needed you, when you had the opportunity, you let us down. The team is the team. I'm talking about as a fan base. You let us down. This fan base knows your history of dropping the ball. You got away from it a little bit. But the first time you start dropping and fumbling and stuff like that, all we do is go right back to what we remember you for. And that's dropping balls. Pause. So you got to go back out there and take advantage of your opportunities. What's going on? Adrian B says, best feeling after a primetime game since the Odell catch, even though we lost that game and we knew we had something special. And that's how I'm feeling right now. Yeah, we do have something special. I was arguing with somebody today about Jackson Dart and who he reminds me of. I see a little bit of Baker Mayfield. I saw somebody say, he reminds them of Tony Romo. And I see all that. I think he got a little bit of Phillip Rivers in as far as his attitude and stuff like that. We see him celebrating with the happy stuff, that like a little Baker Mayfield. We see him trash talking. But that one play, that touchdown pass to Wan'Dale Robinson, and listen, hear me out. Hear me out when I say this. When he made that play for Wan'Dale Robinson, when he's bouncing off of his own lineman, spinning around in the pocket, breaking out to the right, finding Wan'Dale Robinson on a broken play. I kid you not. And again, hear me out. He looked like prime Russell Wilson. Like a lot of people will say, what you talking about, Dash? No, I'm talking about prime Russell Wilson. I'm talking about when Russell Wilson was a Houdini, running around, bouncing off a lineman, rolling out, finding somebody down the field. That Russell Wilson, not the Russell Wilson that we see right now. And I do apologize to Russell Wilson, but it might be time. Respectfully. Respectfully. I reached out to Russell Wilson too, man. Before the first game, obviously I didn't expect to hear nothing back. But I was like, yo, man, best of luck. First game is the best of luck, blah, 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 blah. no reply. But I just like to, even if I know I'm not going to get a reply back, I do want to show love and show support for people. But I'm telling you guys, you let me know if I'm bugging. Oh, like I'm talking about Russell Wilson in his prime, with a dash of Baker Mayfield's attitude. That's what Jackson Dart reminds me of, and I love it, every part of it. And the funny thing about this is, just imagine if you were Russell Wilson. Just imagine if you're Russell Wilson and you see Jackson Dart make that kind of play, and you remember, I used to look like that. 10 years ago, that was me. 10 years ago, that was me. Hold on. Ford Expedition says Dart is more like Brett Favre. I like that too. I believe he's a gunslinger too. Actually, he might be a little bit like Brett Favre was a gunslinger. Brett Favre would shake off an interception like it was nothing, like it was a drop pass. And Brett Favre had an absolute cannon. I don't think Jackson Dart has the same type of arm as a Brett Favre. He doesn't have the same type of arm as Baker Mayfield. Again, that's why I said he reminds me of a prime Russell Wilson. In the 20 teens, Russell Wilson. Big Blue Steph Forever says, I thought the same thing when I saw that play. I was bugging, man. I was like, because I've seen Russell Wilson make that play before. Old Seattle Russell Wilson, though. Like, we can't sit here in front like Russell Wilson wasn't Houdini out there breaking out of everything. And that's what I seen with Jackson Dart. The one thing I noticed with Jackson Dart, and the wide receivers know it now too, the play is never over. Bo Collins had to find out the hard way. In that Saints game, Bo Collins found out the play is never over with Jackson Dart. The man is like a human highlight reel right now. And guess what? He's still raw. That was the main thing about him coming out of college, was how raw he is. He's still not refined yet. He can get better. The right coaching, even better scheme, even more weapons. He gets better. So you add that kind of attitude, winning attitude, not afraid of the moment. The moment's not too big for him. The New York Giants really have a quarterback now. Just how the Commanders fans felt last year early with Jaden Daniels. We feel that way right now as Giants fans. If you don't feel this way, let me know. Please let me know. Colin Redmond says, as much as it pains me to say this, mobility, strength with his running, and disregard for his body makes me think McNabb. McNabb was a little reckless running the ball. McNabb was like 230 pounds though. And Dart's not small. Dart's not a small guy, but he wasn't McNabb. He ain't McNabb size running out there. He says, why did you make me compare him to Dirty Bird? Listen, that's where your mind went. I gave you the out. I gave you a prime Russell Wilson, but you still decided to type McNabb in. I hate the Eagles too. Eric James, what's going on, Eric James? He says, for more protection for Dart, I hope we could draft Fano from Utah. They playing right now, right? Is Utah playing right now? I think Utah's playing with Arizona State. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the game. Definitely want to see that. Speaking of wide receivers in the first round for next year, Jordan Tyson is probably the first wide receiver to come off the board. He's probably going top 5 too. I would absolutely love to get Jordan Tyson on the team, but right now, the way the New York Giants are playing, I don't think we pick top 10. Even though if you go on to the mock draft, PFF and stuff like that, you'll see that. But I don't think we picking top 5. I don't think we picking top 10. I don't think that happens. We're probably going to be looking at like a Carnell Tate, a Makai Lemon in the second round. I saw somebody else put Nicholas Harbor from South Carolina. That's another one. 6'5", runs a 4.240, 230 pounds. Freak, got Olympic speed. Needs to be more refined as a wide receiver. But he's definitely somebody that's high on the list for sure. Not a first rounder. He might squeak into the second round, but we'll see what happens. Shout out to Chiefs575. Says my brother Chad was a huge Giants fan, and I watched your channel. He'd be so excited about Dart Scatterboo right now. Lost him in January. Go Big Blue. So first of all, let's say this. Shout out to you, Chiefs575. I want to say rest in peace to your brother Chad. When it comes to the New York Giants family, it's just that, a family. So guess what? Since he was a Giants fan, Chad, you part of the family too. Even though you seem like you might be a Chiefs fan, right, Chad? I'm sorry, Chiefs fan. But for your brother, rest in peace. Yeah, sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. Shout out to Chad, though. Young Rule Official says thumbnail is fire. Nah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. My man Big Mo in the building showing love to other people. Said, what up, Side Guy? Side Guy Brian in the building? He said, what a game. Hold on, let me see where my man Side Guy is at. I missed it. I think I might have missed it. Prince Castro says, Dart damn near got some Manziel in him. Don't do that. Don't you put that Hoodoo on Jackson Dart. Don't you put that Johnny Manziel Hoodoo on Jackson Dart. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. But don't you do that. Don't put that Hoodoo on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't do that. Isaac Moore, man, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That's why you build your roster to compete in your division. He says we taking this division very soon. Yeah. Guess what? If the Eagles keep sliding, come on. I think we might have gave them the recipe. They might not have the same front as we have, because they was getting after it. Sleeping K92 says Theo Johnson is promising. He gets those tight catches when it's needed. Listen, man, I got a love-hate relationship when it comes to Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson to catch the hard passes or the hard balls, pause, and then drop some easy ones. Theo Johnson be pissing me off if I'm being honest. He made up for it though, because he dropped a third down pass and then he caught a third down pass for big yards. Love-hate relationship with Theo Johnson. I was mad my man Daniel Bellinger couldn't get any love though. Couldn't get any love last week. It is what it is though. Am I cutting in and out? Jay said I'm cutting in and out. All right, let me get down to the bottom. I should be good. I got all my bars. Usually, Streamlink will let me know if the signal is weak. So please let me know if I'm cutting in and out. Please let me know. Or guess what? It might be yours, Jason, not mine. All good. Thank you. All right. Nova Nebula, what's going on, Nova? Johnson has to improve his drop issues, and he has to work on his contact balance. I went back and looked at Johnson his rookie year, right? And he was a lot better after the catch. He was a lot better after the catch. I think the foot injury again. He had the Liz Frank. He had the Liz Frank surgery. It might have something to do with that. I saw a doctor's report on it. Oh, the Giants put out that report on Theo Johnson when they spoke to the doctors and specialists and stuff like that. And they said that's not an easy injury to come back from. So for me, I'm like, maybe that's the issue with him. Shout out to my big brother in the building. Says all good, bro. Thank you for letting me know. Then he also said, just waking up. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. You talking about just waking up. Shout out to my big brother, man. Wells let me know. I appreciate that, Wells. Let me know that I'm good, too. Luann says, all sports talk on TV talking about the Giants in a positive way. I'm happy to hear it. I was tired of the negative talk. Let me tell you this, though, Luann, and I said it going into the week. Going into Saints week, when we were getting all that love after the Chargers game. And then we went into the Saints game and laid that egg, right? So for me, I'm sitting here like, I don't want to get too excited because we have a history of taking one step forward, 3 steps back and stuff like that. I will say this though, man. When you look at the leadership on this team right now, and this team is being led by rookies. Like Scatterboo vocally on the sideline, He's talking to the defensive players. He's talking to the offensive players. He's talking to Brian Burns like Brian Burns is a rookie. And I love it, because I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're a 10-year, 12-year vet. If you feel like it's in you to voice your opinion and to bring this team up, then you do it. Leaders are born. And Cam Scatterbull, as a running back, a rookie running back for the New York Giants, is already a leader. Shout out to my man McCann, the rookie takeover. That's a fact. Just think about it. I can't wait for Marcus Bowe to start playing, because again, and you know what? Let me go back a second, man. Can we show some love to the offensive line? Can we show some love for the offensive line? One of the things that we've been waiting for over a decade to improve. And listen, good quarterback play helps the offensive line. But do you see the way that the offensive line is playing? When they believe in somebody, this offensive line believes in these guys. They believe in Scatterbull. They believe in Jackson Dart. Did you see JMS? And he went out. JMS caught a forearm to the bridge of his nose. They broke his nose. I think he got a concussion too. But prior to JMS going down, you see how even JMS is playing well. I told you guys, JMS was my son. When we drafted him, I was so high on JMS, I called him my son. Over the past 2 years, I was packing his bags and I left them at the front door. Guess what I did? I took that bag away from the front door. I gave him his bag, and he put all his clothes back away. JMS is doing good right now. Ronnie says, I believe. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's get here. Here we go. Shout out to Prince Castro with the $2 super chat. Says, when Flott caught that pick, Banks was punching air. You know what's crazy? I made it a point on the site, on the sights and sounds of the game. When Cordell Flott came back to the sideline, I was looking for Banks. I was looking for Banks to see where he was at, if he was going to celebrate with Flott. I looked 2 times. I did not see him. So hopefully, you know, he's not losing interest in the games because of it. But guess what? You got outplayed. You lost the competition to Flott. And Flott showed everybody. And for the people that's been watching this channel, you already know that I had Flott picked at the beginning of the season. I had Flott picked in training camp. And I'm so happy for Flott this week. So happy for Flott. Chiefs 575 with the $9.99 super chat says, my brother Chad was a huge Giants fan and watched your channel. Oh, I'm sorry. I saw this one already. I'll read it again. He'd be so excited about Dart and Scatterbull right now. Lost him at January. Go Big Blue. Listen, again, it's all about family. It's all about family at the end of the day. I think I did read this twice. Oh no, I did read it twice, but it is what it is. Shout out to you. Shout out to the brother Chad, man. Rest in peace. Ronnie Rivers says, Dash coaching is key. These guys need developing. They absolutely do. They absolutely do, especially on the defensive side, especially that secondary. G-Man 24 says, do you think Bowen goes no matter what? I hope so. Going back and watching that tape, there was a lot of mistakes on the back end. On that blown coverage from when Jalen Hurts overthrew Devontae Smith, when Cordell Flott was trailing. When you go back and watch the all-22, you see him. He thinks he has over-the-top help. Javon Holland was not there. That's bad communication. And when anything happens, when it's about communication, 2 things. Either it's a blown assignment, which also could be coaching. And for me, if I have to point at the weakest link, I think it is Bowen. But nobody's off the radar. Again, I think Jackson Dart is doing a lot of things that he can do. We still haven't seen him. Like, he's making a lot of plays after it's broken down, making a lot of plays with his legs. There were a couple completions where they were on-time passes and stuff like that. It could be the route concepts. It could be whether he trusts his eyes or trusts what he's seeing and stuff like that. It could be going through his progressions. But Jackson Dart is making plays, and a lot of those plays are after the play has broken down. We do need to get the right coaches in the building. Listen, Jackson Dart is going to save a lot of people. Jackson Dart is going to save a lot of people. Let's just hope that these guys, reward him with better coaching, better concepts. Papa John's. Big Rob says, was repping New York Giants in the blue OBJ jersey on Thursday. It says, what? In Haddon Township. I had to find it. Was like, wait a minute. In Haddon Township. Shout out to Big Rob. McCann says, LOL, I know they was mad in Haddon Township. Yeah, they was probably mad as hell. You was in enemy territory. Big Rob says, we don't feel bad for them. Sorry, Eagles. I'm getting me some fried eagle for dinner all day, every day. Speaking of dinner and Eagles, Keely Ringo was barbecue chicken in that game. Jackson Dart was picking on Keely Ringo. I believe the touchdown that Flock got was on Keely Ringo, if I'm not mistaken. I know the pass to Little Jordan Humphrey on that first third down of the game for us, that was against Keely Ringo, but he was getting cooked. Wan'Dale Robinson was cooking him. Little Jordan Humphrey was cooking him. He was getting cooked. Even Hyde got a catch off him. And then Adoree Jackson was cooked. They was making so much fun of Adoree Jackson, even in the broadcast. Kelly Ringo was barbecue chicken the whole game, and I love it because they kept on picking on him. We're usually the ones that get picked on. It's a new energy. It's a new feel. We've been saying that all summer. We thought that when we first started the season with Russ, and then what happened with Russ, and then now Jackson Dart is in, and now it really feels like it's a new vibe. It's a new feeling. Maybe that's all the juice that people was talking about in the summer. Ronnie said they picked on Adoree Jackson. Barbecue chicken. I saw Azeez Ojulari make one play. I wonder if Azeez Ojulari regrets his decision, because I believe the New York Giants offered him a contract. He just didn't like it. And what did he do? He tried to pull a Saquon Barkley. If you can't beat him, join him. Adoree Jackson, if you can't beat him, join him. I hope you fall on your face. Respectfully. McCann says, facts. It's time for us to get back to bullying Giants football. That's what it is, man. And again, I'm like everybody keeps saying they waiting on Abdul Carter. I'm waiting on Abdul Carter. I'm waiting on Dexter Lawrence. And it's getting there. He's getting his legs back. He's not breathing as heavy as he was. It could have been adrenaline because, again, that was a good game, but you had something to fight for. I'm still waiting on Dexter Lawrence because once Dexter Lawrence gets in really good shape and gets back to being Dexter Lawrence, I still think he needs to lose about 15 pounds, though. Just to prolong his career, because I don't care what anybody says. When you look him up on the internet, they still have him at 345 pounds. Dexter Lawrence ain't 345 pounds. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He is not. Ford Expedition said fried eagle. That's a fact. Deep fried eagle. That's a fact. We can't, it's crazy. It's illegal to fry eagles, and we did it anyway. You can't kill a bald eagle. It's illegal. They're protected. We did them dirty on primetime television. Got them, cleaned them, and cooked them. William Henry says, why is everyone sleeping on Darius Alexander? I don't think everybody's sleeping on Darius Alexander. I'll tell you this, though. He's coming along. We were waiting on Darius Alexander for sure. I thought Darius Alexander was going to be a starter game one. And then we saw Andre Patterson in that interview with the coaches, positional coaches, saying, you don't want to rush him on the field. He's ready when he's ready. The funny thing is, the same week he said that is the same week he actually started getting some run. And he looked perfectly fine to me. So was Andre Patterson capping? Was he lying? I think he was lying. For some reason, they didn't want to play. It took Nacho to get hurt in order for us to get Darius Alexander on the field. And that goes back to one of our points again. We're always reactive instead of proactive. And I got a problem with that. And when you coach to be reactive instead of proactive, then you're always getting punched in the face first. And then you're always worrying about a counter. I need the New York Giants to be more proactive. Like my man said, are you looking at practice squad players? And that's one of the things I want to talk about. I done got away from my whole script for tonight. Wide receivers for the New York Giants. Obviously, some people would love to trade for some star player. I don't believe that's going to happen. We don't have the money for it. Unless you see some moves being made with contracts, there's not going to be that big move. But I did look around the league. I did look at some practice squads, and I came up with some names. Just four names. Outside of the guys on the practice squad that we can call up. Outside of the guys we have on the roster right now that can step up, or we need to step up. I've been hearing this name a lot. Isaiah Hodgins. Can we bring Isaiah Hodgins back? And to me, I look at Isaiah Hodgins the same way I look at little Jordan Humphreys. A bigger body wide receiver, possession wide receiver. Do they step on each other's toes? Possibly. But Hodgins is still an option. Also, Allen Robinson is an older free agent. But also he was with the roster in 2024. So he's familiar with the playbook. When we cut him in 2024, I think he went to the Detroit Lions and was able to be on their 53 for a couple of games. Does he still have something left in the tank? Is he better than somebody like Hyatt? It is what it is. Another name, and shout out to Luann, Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is still out there. Coming back from an injury. Is he fully healthy yet? We don't know. But he's also one of those names. And then where the hell did Juice Wells go? He's not on the practice squad. I can't find him on another team's practice squad. So if you know where Juice Wells is, please tell me. Juice Wells, Montrell Washington, where did those guys go? I know it's Amir Smith-Marset is still on the practice squad, but where did Juice Wells go? He had a relationship with Dart. For me, if I'm the coaching staff, everybody that was successful with Jackson Dart during the training camp, during preseason, guys that he trusts, I'm giving those guys the first chance. People that are familiar with the playbook like Hodgins, Allen Robinson, I'm looking for those guys first. I'd rather do that than try to trade for somebody and got to teach them the entire playbook. I'm just saying. Let me know. I saw Ronnie saying, kept saying bring him back, talking about Hodgins. He's sitting there. He sat on the 49ers practice squad last year. He's sitting on the Steelers practice squad now. He's available. William Henry says, thank you, Dash. This is why all our young talent goes to other teams shining. Jackson Meeks from Syracuse. That's another prospect. Wells says Snaquan got his check. He's clocked out, or he has a secret passion for the Giants, so he played like on purpose. Listen, man. I know, listen. Somehow, some way, Saquon weasels his way into conversations. Last year was one thing. This year is another. I was so happy to see us shut him down after those first two runs. Because, believe me, I know you guys felt the same way when they started that game. First two plays of the game were first downs by Saquon Barkley. And I said, oh, man, here we go. But the players said no. The scheme didn't change. There were not adjustments being made. And the same thing that Spencer Rattler said before the Saints game is the same thing we saw against the Eagles. We don't change or hide or try to shift anything when it comes to the secondary. We're not trying to trick any quarterbacks. Wherever the New York Giants are before the snap, they are after the snap. We don't disguise a thing. And that's a problem. Like, it's all cool when your front four's getting pressure. But we saw it just a week prior when we could not get that pressure on Spencer Rattler, or we got pressure but really couldn't sack him. He was able to just pass all over the place. And when you look at Jalen Hurts' stats, he damn near threw for 300 yards. All that stuff, we don't think about it because we had the big win. We still got issues on the back end when it comes to the scheme. And it does not look like Shane Bowen wants to change anything that he's doing. Like, it's all about what the front four is doing. It's all about stunts and twists, a few blitzes here and there. But he's not doing any kind of disguises, no type of trickery when it comes to the secondary. We're playing off man. You got two press man corners playing the majority of off man, and then you wonder why certain things are happening. And that's why I say thank God for tape day when they go back and watch the tape, whether it's a winner or a loss. And I bet you when the New York Giants watch this tape back, or they probably already watched this tape back, and they saw some of those plays in the secondary, some of those plays that the Eagles left out there on the field, they got to be saying, you know what, Shane Bowen, I understand you like to run this type of vanilla offense, but I'm going to need you to step your game up. I'm going to need you to start coaching this entire defense and not just this defensive front. Or they're going to have to make some changes. And again, shout out to Marquand Manuel being proactive, letting the secondary know, saying, hey, they're going to be looking for that back shoulder throw. I said it earlier in the stream. We saw a coach say, look at what the Eagles were doing, diagnosed it, and said, hey, guys, come here. They're gonna start looking for that back shoulder throw. I want you guys to be aware of that back shoulder throw. And we got damn near pick six off of checking for that back shoulder throw. Give me somebody that's proactive on that defense, please. Give me a coach that's proactive. Marquand Manuel, if for the people that don't know, Marquand Manuel is the secondary coach. Let me give you some history on Marquand Manuel if you're not familiar. Marquand Manuel was also a coach on the staff for the Legion of Boom. He was also the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, coaching under Quinn, the head coach for the Commanders. He's from that Legion of Boom. He's from that pedigree. So if anything does happen with Shane Bowen, that's the next guy up, in my opinion. And I hate to talk about that after a win, but we got to be honest. It's not just about being satisfied with the win that we just had. It's about how can we win for the future? How can we keep stacking these W's? And there's certain things that the New York Giants should do to make this defense even better than what it is right now. Because guess what? If that secondary is playing better, that means that quarterback has to hold on to that ball for a little bit longer. And that's a recipe for disaster. Because you still got those dogs up front hunting. Let me know what you guys think about that, though. Menace King says, get us Antonio Pierce as what? As a defensive coordinator? I'll take him as a linebackers coach. I don't know. I know he was a defensive coordinator for Arizona State. I know when before he was a head coach for the Raiders, he wasn't a defensive coordinator there. He just ended up getting the interim head coaching job, and then, he got the head coaching job for a year. Kashif B says Andre Patterson with a question mark. That's a defensive line coach, Andre Patterson. He got a lot of years under his belt. I think he got over 20 years in the league. Actually, almost 30 years in the league. He was coaching guys like John Randall for the Minnesota Vikings. He's been around defensive linemen for a long time, Andre Patterson. Wink brought him with him. He's from Wink staff. He's one of the best defensive line coaches out there. That's who Andre Patterson is. Menace King talking about Pierce. Yeah, he was bad as a head coach. He's a motivator. He's a guy that can, he's a leader of men but schematically, yeah, he falls a little bit short. Man, he needs more experience though. They threw him into that job. He wasn't ready to be a head coach. He might get another shot. He got to get picked up again though. He got to get on somebody's staff again. I wouldn't mind a reunion. Put him as a positional coach for the Giants. We need that type of energy in the building. Not scared of anything. Coaching up everybody. Knows the X and O's and stuff like that. But when it comes to putting schemes together, not really. Respectfully though. Ian Campbell said, but it's funny because even how bad Bowen is, they play hard and don't let up many points. Yes, that's what it is. Remember what we said about this team on paper. These guys are making plays. These guys are playing beyond the X's and O's. Again, Cordell Flott, he was coached up, playing beyond the X's and O's. Dane Belton punched that ball out, playing above the X's and O's. Andrew Phillips, defense in the running game, playing above the X and O's. Brian Burns is unblockable right now. That's why we see some weeks when we're getting pressure and it's hot, everything goes well. Why? Because the defensive front. We live and die by the defensive front right now. And that's cool if you got it. That's cool when it's working. But when you have something like a Saints game where you're not really getting that pressure, what's going on the back end? We're getting picked apart easy by somebody named Spencer Rattler. And again, I hate to complain after a win. I'm just saying, don't be satisfied with where we're at right now. This team could be way better. We had aspirations of being a top 10, top 5 defense. That should not go away. We should not just be satisfied. Talking about tush push, false start push. That's a fact. Shout out to Ramdre81 with the $10 super chat. He says, okay, I'm going to bring it up. That Hurts stat pad play, tush push. Did Philly run it 4 times in a row, finally killed it for next year? DJ Davidson got hurt on that series also. I hate the tush push. But I'm also of the mindset that if you can't beat it, it is what it is. And that's the problem. We can't beat it now. Since we started seeing the false starts with the guards, that's different. Because now it becomes an illegal play. And it's so tight in there, the refs really can't see it when the guards are jumping. You got to go to the super slow-mo to see it. So if the refs can't see it, then we got a problem. Next year, maybe it does. Maybe they bring it back up and they actually remove that play. I can't stand it. Also, I can't stand it because I can't stop it. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens, though. They're not happy with it because the more people complain about it, you might see that come back up in the votes because it was already a lot of people voting to get that play, taken out of here. I believe the Giants were one of those teams that said, we got to get this play out of here. But they didn't get enough votes. They might get enough votes after this. We'll see what happens. Menace King says, Dash, how are we feeling for this Denver game? You know how it is. You know how it be. As a Giants fan, stringing together wins is damn near impossible for us, it seems. I'm glad you said that because I wasn't going to talk too much about this Denver game. But since we're here, right? We're family. We can talk about some things. This Denver game is going to say a lot because that's a really good defense that they have. And not only that, they're very well coached. But then when you look at their offense, it's not. Bo Nix is a good quarterback. Bo Nix is perfect for Sean Payton because he takes what the defense gives him. Bo Nix is not the type to force anything, and he's super patient. So if we want to play off man against Denver, guess what they're going to do? He's going to throw the slant. He's going to take the 4 yards because 4 times 3 is what? A first down. So when we play the Denver Broncos, it's going to tell us a lot about the New York Giants. Again, Sean Payton is a different pedigree. I will say this. I do think that game is winnable. They are going to be flying across country. I always like that. I'm sorry, we're going to be flying across country. We're playing in Denver. I hope we get there early. That way we can get acclimated to the altitude, time zone, and all that. But I think that game's going to be tough. I think that game is going to let us know even more what Jackson Dart is made of. Because now there's a lot of tape on Jackson Dart. And on top of that, there's nobody walking through that door right now, wide receiver. So the way that we're playing right now is heavy 12 personnel, heavy 13 personnel, a couple of deep shots here and there, using Wan'Dale Robinson a lot as the gadget guy and all the underneath stuff, the quick outs and stuff like that. I think the game plan stays the same. And everybody that's worried about wide receivers, and make sure little Jordan Humphrey is a part of the roster. But for me, it's all about the tight ends when for the Denver game. Theo Johnson probably going to have a big role. Daniel Bellinger is going to have a big role, whether it's blocking or receiving. And then Jackson Dart being Jackson Dart, and also a strong running game. Because if they can't stop the run, I don't care who we play. If you can't stop Cam Scatterable from getting first downs, then I like our chances with anybody. We already played the Chargers in that defense. We already played the Philadelphia Eagles. We played the Chiefs. Like, we played some tough defenses, and we were right there in every game. So if we're right there in every game with the Chiefs, with the Chargers, with the Eagles, then who else? Who you gonna put in front of us? Maybe Detroit. Detroit is a monster. Detroit is an absolute monster. But I like our chances with anybody, and that's what a difference a game makes. Let me know how you guys feel, though. How do you feel? Menace King, I'm gonna ask you that question, Menace. How do you feel about the Denver Broncos? How do you feel about the New York Giants getting 2 in a row? Let me know how you guys feel. It ain't just about me. It's about us. That play is getting banned. Luann says, I wish we can get Spags for defense. Listen, Luann, I praise you because you are consistent and you don't waver. Spags is not going anywhere. Spags is enjoying his life in Kansas City right now. He can ride off into the sunset with Andy Reid whenever he decides to retire. If I'm Spags, I'm not going anywhere. That is a comfortable spot for him. Man, almost 70 years old. He ain't going nowhere. He is not trying to solve no new problems. He is not trying to solve no new problems. Shout out to Love My Kids. That's a fantastic name with the $5 super chat. Said, we don't need a bunch of superstars. We need everyone to play their position. That's a fact. And that's that. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all. No, that's it. That's all. Sorry. That's it. That's all. I can't even read right now. Good Lord. That's a great point. That's a great point because, but again, like you said, we don't need a bunch of superstars, but guess what? We do. On offense is another story. Defense wise, you name another team that got a defensive front like this flooded with superstars. Bobby Okereke looked like he's hitting the reset button and looking better as this year has gone by. Need some help with the secondary. Offense means a lot, though. I'm gonna take this point. I'm gonna point it at the offense, right? You're right, because when you look at the weapons, we don't have any stars there. Malik is gone. Theo Johnson is not a household name yet. We'll see what happens. The more he gets used, the better he'll be. But now you're absolutely right, and that's why coaching is so important. You have to take the strength of your roster and run with that. And that's why I said for a guy like Shane Bowen, when you look at what the roster gives you, you have press corners. Play a little bit more press. You know what I mean? Play a little bit more press. You have versatile safeties. You have one guy that's way better in the box than the other. How about you play him in the box the majority of the time? Put your players in the position to succeed. And these guys are watching film. Somebody has to be in Shane Bowen's ear like, listen, man, I need you to step it up. Step it up. We've seen this team go to the playoffs in 2022 with that roster. And the roster that we have right now, offensive line is playing better. Running game, obviously I can't compare it to Saquon Barkley, but right now Cam Scatterbull is looking fantastic. And then the quarterback play right now, come on now, let's be honest. And a lot of people keep saying Daniel Jones looks fantastic in Indiana. That's fine. That's fine. I'm over that. Jackson Dart looks fantastic right now for the Giants. And you can't tell me that it looks the same, because it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. William Henry says, why are we forgetting about Fedoni Dash? I don't know why. And that part pisses me off too, because he got a jersey for 2 games now. And we're still not being used, or he's still not being used. The best way I think that they can use Fedoni is as a big slot receiver. He's a matchup. He's a mismatch for a lot of people. 6'6", 7-foot wingspan. Dart already has a good rapport with him. Use him. And it's the funny thing about it is, just like with little Jordan Humphreys, once you see him on the field, it's like, oh, he really can play. What took us so long to get him into the game? Little Jordan Humphrey, we should have been in the Saints game. He could have been making those same plays in the Saints game. Fedoni. Once Fedoni actually gets some targets, we're going to be like, well, what the hell were we waiting for this whole time? He's really good. Side Guy Bry, what's going on, Side Guy Bry? Said Big Dash, Denver is playing the Jets in England tomorrow. That's a long road trip. No, it is. And guess what, though? They decided not to take the bye week. A lot of those teams, they're offered a bye week when they're actually going to travel across seas. Those are the first games that actually come out on the schedule are the games overseas. So usually these teams, coming back from over there, they're like, yeah, I'll take my bye week. Some people turn them down. Maybe they thought the New York Giants were going to be an easy win. And they said, you know what, we're facing the Giants. We don't need that bye week. We'll take the bye week a little bit later on in the season. And now look at them. They might have made a mistake. I hope the Jets beat them up a little bit too. We'll see what happens. Isaac Moore says, props to Dart scoring on every opening drive. That's a fact. Listen. Like they always say, when you know, you just know. And when you see Jackson Dart, you know. And that's the crazy part too, because it took him to be in a Giants jersey for me to be like, yeah, that looks right. Because before we got him, man, I was nitpicking like crazy when it came to Jackson Dart. I was nitpicking the Ole Miss offense, how it was so quarterback friendly. I was looking at how this guy was running with reckless abandon, trying to run over linebackers and stuff like that. Even John Gruden said it, in his quarterback class, like, what are you doing? You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to get yourself put out the game. That's still a part of his game that I wish he can get rid of, because as far as I know, he damn near been in the tent every time he's played. Every game he's played, he's almost been in a tent. I need him to be a lot smarter. We saw him slide. It's cool. But we need him to be available. Because I'll tell you right now, not having Malik Nabers, it felt like, oh, what was me? We can't win without Malik Nabers. No, we really can't win without Jackson Dart right now, if we're going to be honest. Because Jackson Dart is giving me the confidence right now that, okay, we can throw anybody out here as weapons, and he's going to make something happen. So imagine when we really get these weapons in the building. We're going to take this game to the next level for sure. Shout out to SETI079. He says, no mistake, football, the Giants could win any game. That's a fact. Menace King says, optimistic, this is a season-defining game. I do believe that. I really do. Shout out to no Mets, no Nets, no Jets in the building. How you doing, man? How are you doing? He said, and if the Giants beat the Broncos, it'll be, let's see if they can beat Philly 2 times on a roll. So on and so on. It's always going to be a test in the eyes of Giants fans. Yeah, we do move that goalpost. We do move that goalpost a lot. But I listen, the reason why I say it, and you might not be talking directly to me, I understand, but I'll take some of it. Pause. The 1 step forward, 2 steps back thing. That's a real thing when it comes to the New York Giants. But I tell you what, we beat the Broncos after beating, because just think about it. We beat the Broncos. We beat the Chargers. We beat Philly. Straight up contenders. Broncos most likely are contenders as well. They made it to the playoffs last year. I'm not sure exactly what I think they only lost 1 game. I might be wrong though. You beat these teams. There's no more moving the goalposts after that. We beat the Broncos. Listen, we beat the Chargers, Eagles, Broncos. The only other big test as far as juggernauts in the league is the freaking Detroit Lions, really. Because the 49ers look beatable. The Bears are beatable. The Raiders are definitely beatable. Commanders are beatable. Dallas Cowboys, I'm mad Dallas Cowboys should have been able to sweep that team this year. I'm mad about that too. But just looking at the rest of the schedule, outside of the Lions, you're looking at the Packers as well. But we beat the Broncos. It's like, yeah, I'm in it for all these games. But now I get what you mean when you say that, though. I do get what you mean. Kashif B says, we'll have 3 extra rest days and the Broncos have to travel overseas. Not saying we'll win, but it definitely helps. Nah, it does. It definitely does. It It really does. FL Marshall, Florida Marshall, I'm assuming is what he's saying. Turnovers are a big key against the Broncos. The 2 games we won, we have 1 turnover. We won the turnover battle. The 4 games we lost it. Offensive line is another key. Like you said, our defensive line has to bring it. Yeah, that's a fact, because Shane Bowen ain't doing nothing on the back end to shake nobody up, man. Shout out to Love My Kids with another $5 super chat. Thank you for the love and support. Says, my son played wide out for Oak and the Jets. He told me it's the receiver's job to make his quarterback look good no matter the pass. If it hit your hands, you better catch it. That's how I was told. If it hit your hands, you better catch it. Whether it hits 1 hand or 2 hands, if you get your hands on it, you better catch it. That's how I was told. Old school. It is what it is. Tyrone Hughes says, what about Leslie Frazier as a defensive coordinator next year? I don't think Leslie Frazier is messing with the Giants right now. I don't think he messed. He was caught up in that whole Brian Flores deal, with the Rooney Rule and suing over the Rooney Rule and stuff like that. So discrimination. So I don't know. And I know that prior to hiring Brian Daboll, I think we tried to interview Leslie Frazier and he turned us down. I got to go look that up again, but I believe I read that. William Henry says, Dash, what the F was Russell thinking throwing the ball in the dirt? You know what's funny about that? It's not funny, but it is funny. Russ can't win for losing, man. Jackson Dart goes in the tent. Russell Wilson has to come out onto the field. They booed him. They booed him the whole time. He had 2 plays. The first play was a handoff. Second play was a slant pass to Hyatt, I believe, and that was in the dirt. And then the boos came raining down. And then to me, I looked at my wife. I was like, it's over for Russ. It's all the week prior when Jackson Dart had to step out of the game. You see the trend. They booed him in the red zone. They booed him in the red zone while we're going in for a touchdown. And it's like, it's over for him. That last hurrah should have been that Dallas game. If he would have ended his career on that Dallas game, I think it would have landed a little bit better for him. But for him, he still got a lot of pride. He still got a lot of faith. I'm still a fan of Russell Wilson. I just don't want to see him as quarterback for the New York Giants. But to answer your question, that was a little bit long-winded. Yeah, he threw that ball in the dirt. I don't know what he was doing. I thought it got tipped at first, too. I thought it got tipped. It didn't get tipped. It didn't get tipped. William says, Dash, these next 4 games fall on Bowen play calling. Yeah, if we can't get home with 4, like we see the difference in these games. We know what we look like when we get home with 4, and we know what we look like when we don't get home with 4. When we don't get home with 4, you see the Dallas Cowboys put up 40 points. You know what I mean? When we don't get home with 4, you see the Commanders game where we just couldn't quite get out of our way. When we don't get pressure on the quarterback, even though the turnovers is what did us in the Saints game, Spencer Rattler was super comfortable back there. He wasn't rattled at all. He was just back there doing what he wanted to do. 4 or 5 seconds. When you look, before we actually started getting to Jalen Hurts, they put the graphic up. He had 4, 5 seconds to throw the ball. And you see what happens. Shane Bowen did not make a single adjustment in that game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The only thing that changed was the players stepped up. Burns stepped up. Tibbs stepped up. Flott stepped up. Belton stepped up. Even Holland made a play. They called, the scheme did not help these guys win this game. They did that themselves. They played above the X's and O's. They beat the one-on-one matchups. Help your defense, Shane Bowen. Help these guys. Because once we do that, this defense is going to be top 10, top 5. As soon as we got a play caller, a defensive play caller, strategist, as soon as we get one of those guys in the building, we'll see that difference. The Giants will take that next step. Everybody want to blame Tyler Nubin. Everybody want to blame Javon Holland not being worth the money. Everybody want to blame Paulson Adebo for not making plays. When you look at what Paulson Adebo did with the Saints, he was a press man corner. Press man corner. We're playing off man. That tells you everything you need to know. Put your guys in a position to succeed. That's what it's all about. Shout out to, is it Calagero? Calagero? I don't know. My bad. I apologize. He says, what up, first time comment, recent subscriber. Absolutely love your thumbnail for tonight. Live stream. Now, appreciate the love and support, man. Let me know how to say your name so I can do it respectfully. Again, I don't like saying people's names wrong. I will give up if I can't pronounce it. I apologize. So if you want to break it down for me, I'm going to just call you Kalo C right now. Kalo Jero C. Let me know if I'm right or not. But I appreciate the love and support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the Big Blue Nation. Absolutely. Is it Alex? Alex, I'm not expecting miracles this season. Just want to see Dart improve, stay competitive week to week, and end with a solid draft position. Next year's I've got circled. Next year you got circled. Okay, I got what you're saying. I felt the same way a week ago. I felt the same way a week ago. Before the Philadelphia Eagles game, before the Eagles game, I was looking at 2026. I had a bunch of mock drafts done. I was looking at all, what we can do, trading back, getting more picks, because we don't have a third round pick. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt next year if we end up really not having a third round pick. It's a lot of talent in this draft coming up. Definitely for the third round. Some offensive linemen, some linebackers that might fall into the third round. Some pretty good wide receivers, some cornerbacks as well. That's going to be in that third round. I want a third round pick back. But to your point, I was feeling the same way. I was feeling the same way. I'm like, you know what? Here we go. Season over. It's not even Halloween yet. I put that out as a tweet. It's not even Halloween yet, and the season is over. I was saying all of this stuff. What a difference a game makes. So for me, I'm not expecting miracles this season either, but I am going to enjoy it. I'm definitely going to enjoy this season because I want to see the development of Jackson Dart. I have something to look forward to. I want to see how these young rookies start. I can't wait for Marcus Bowe to be the starter. At some point in time, Greg Van Roten is going to be out of here. I would love to see Marcus Bowe get more reps. So for 2026, we're that much better. And I said this also, too. When it comes to Jackson Dart right now, not having Malik Nabers might be, respectfully, please understand what I'm saying, might be a blessing in disguise because he doesn't have that crutch of Malik Nabers. So you know what? Things are not going right. I'm just going to target Malik Nabers. No, you see him going through his progressions. You see him making, extending the plays, you see him doing all that. That's all about growth and development. And when you have Malik Nabers, he's a crutch. So right now, having all these snaps, playing all these games without Malik Nabers, a lack of weapons. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but you guys know what I mean when I say that. And I do say that because we know for a fact that Giants players, they might not tap in, they might not say anything, but they do listen to content creators. They are on Twitter. They are searching their names up. They're seeing what people are saying about them. They might be right now watching this video. And they're seeing so when I say things, I try to be respectful when I say it, but please understand what I mean. So Jackson Dart not having Malik Nabers right now makes his development even better because you don't have that crutch. And you're getting the tight ends involved. You're getting multiple wide receivers involved. You're getting your running backs involved. You're running around making plays. You're not dependent on just one person. Look what's going on in Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy. He's hurt now too, though. When you have that crutch of Jettis out there, you see him getting those type of targets and stuff like that, not really spreading the ball around too much. Sometimes that can be a hindrance. But for us right now, this time that we have without Malik Nabers, is going to be some of the best time to see what Jackson Dart is truly made of, which so far, so good. And then just imagine when we get those next wave of talent in here too. If we do bring back Wan'Dale Robinson, okay. But guess what? We will be drafting a wide receiver early in the draft. And they're probably going to be the second wide receiver on the depth chart. And I can't wait for that. Michael Knight says, how about AP as defensive coordinator? Again, he has not been a defensive coordinator at the NFL level, but he has been a head coach. I need to see it, man. I'm not against Antonio Pierce at all. I like the attitude that he would bring. I need somebody with a little bit more experience, though. I really do. I really do. And I think we have somebody in the building already. I really think Marquand Manuel can do it because he's been a DC before. He's been a part of one of the when it comes to these defenses that people talk about, you got the 85 Bears, you got the 2000 Ravens, and you got the Legion of Boom. He was part of that defense that was coaching up the Legion of Boom in the secondary. He wealth of knowledge there. A defense that was successful. A defense that I think will work with what the New York Giants need to do. Innovative, making adjustments, tricking people. That's what's up. I need to see that. My bad on the super chats too. Shout out to Mr. Cheesecake with the $1.99 super chat. Says Dable follows Dart home to make sure he's safe. Chauffeurs him to the car. Forget following him. He probably drives Dart home. Oh man, that's hilarious. Capitan Raph, what's going on? Raph says salute Big Dash. Congrats to beating those Eagles. Thank you very much, Capitan. Listen, you guys are on the menu too, man. I ain't forget you was a Raiders fan. We talk our trash back and forth. I'll see you in December. I think it's right after Christmas. We will. I'll see you then. You on the menu too. Thank you for the love and support. Shout out to Love My Kids as a new channel member. Thank you very much for joining the Big Blue Nation. Thank you for your love and support. Hopefully you have a fantastic time. You won't regret it. Welcome to the Big Blue Nation. Luann says, remember John Fox? Where is he? I don't know where John Fox is right now. He's been out of the league for a while, though. Hopefully nothing happened to John Fox. I don't know where the hell John Fox is right now. I don't know where John Fox is right now. He was pretty good on defense, though. He was. Coached down in Carolina for a long time, too. Isaac Moore says, we can't take shots deep with Hyatt if he's so fast. Hold on. Why can't we? Damn. Sorry. Why can't we take deep shots with Hyatt if he's so fast? That's like the $1 million question. If you know this guy's known for his speed, how come we're not using his speed? The thing is this, man. When you watch, despite Jalen Hyatt not doing anything, respectfully, like when we talk about Jalen Hyatt, we like Jalen Hyatt sucks. Jalen Hyatt can't do this. He can't run routes. He can't. But when you watch Jalen Hyatt, when he steps on the field, watch the cornerbacks react to him. Watch it. I'm not kidding you. Go back and watch this game. Whenever Jalen Hyatt is lined up out wide, you will see the cornerback look at the safety. Like, hey, I might need a little help over here. I'm not even joking. It's crazy because he ain't putting up no numbers. But his speed is still respected in the league. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I'm not lying. You know what? Maybe I'll cut it up and I'll put it on Twitter. You will see the cornerbacks communicate, and then you saw Adoree Jackson is Adoree Jackson at the end of the day, but he's not the only one. Adoree Jackson was lined up 8 yards off of Jalen Hyatt. 8 yards off of Jalen Hyatt. The bigger question is this, Isaac. Why can't we run a slant? Why don't we target the slant? If these cornerbacks are going to be lined up 8 yards off of somebody. That's exactly what the Denver Broncos are going to do. When they see us lined off man, they're going to start throwing the slants and force Shane Bowen to move the cornerbacks up. That's what's going to happen. We got to make the adjustments. But for us getting back to our offense, that's why we can't get the deep shot to them, because the safeties are looking at them. The route concepts have to call for it. And also for me, put him in the slot. Don't line Jalen Hyatt out wide anymore. Put him in the slot so he can get a free release. That was one of the plays that Jackson Dart missed in the Saints game. I believe it was the Saints game. He had Jalen Hyatt up the seam and took the crossing route. Actually, no, that was the same play where he, I think it was a Bo Collins play. No, that's not the same play. But there was a play in the Saints game where he was up the seam wide open. Jackson Dart didn't trust it. He took the check down. Still got the first down, I believe. But that's what it is, man. Guys are backing up. Still, even though he has not done anything. Jalen Hyatt got 17 yards on the season. And cornerbacks are still looking at safeties and asking for help when he's out there. I don't understand it. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. Ian Campbell is learning how to properly distribute the football. Now, that's a fact. A blessing in disguise. I hate that Neighbors had to go out. I wish it would have just been a sprain and he missed like 4 games and we get him back. Because imagine Jackson Dart playing the way that he's playing right now, right? And then, oh, well, you know what? Well, Malik Neighbors, it's a knee sprain. He'll be back in 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Imagine that. Imagine right now seeing Jackson Dart and saying, yeah, Malik Neighbors will be here for the 49er game. And it's just like, yeah, we in business. We in business. Mahomes didn't have anybody when Tariq left. You know what he did have? He had the mad scientist called Andy Reid out there scheming things up. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes is fantastic. Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league. We could talk to Josh Allen stuff. You know, we could talk about, actually, that's probably it. Because right now it looks like Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield are probably the top as far as quarterbacks go right now with everybody else. You could throw Justin Herbert in there too. Right now, I'm just trying to think about who else is out there right now. You unfortunately, you could throw Daniel Jones out there as far as quarterbacks that are performing at a high level right now. But that's what it was, man. Mahomes made people better. So when Tyreek left, you still have Mahomes, force multiply. The same thing right now that we're seeing with Jackson Dart. Similar games. When the play breaks down, they're making plays despite everything else being in chaos. And I hate to use Mahomes as a comp because I don't want to jinx Jackson Dart at all. But Mahomes is the best out there right now when it comes to the play breaking down. You might say, you know, Lamar Jackson with his speed and agility and able to break tackles and make people miss. But Mahomes is right there. He's right there. Force multiplier. What Mahomes was doing without Tyreek before he got like Rashee Rice and because now that wide receiver room is loaded again now. But what he was doing last year and the year prior to that, right after Tyreek left, he was doing that, you know, making other guys better. And that's what you want your quarterback to do. That's what Jackson Dart is doing right now. Look at Wan'Dale Robinson thriving. Little Jordan Humphreys getting involved. Little Jordan Humphreys couldn't even make the team. Little Jordan Humphrey was out there in Denver. It couldn't make the team. And now us Giants fans are looking at Little Jordan Humphreys like he better be on the squad. I need him to make some plays. That's all about Jackson Dart. I mean, Little Jordan Humphreys is also 6'4", 220 pounds. He's out there boxing people out like a center. Power forward out there. So just throw the lob up. Makes things easier. We've been saying it for a while. But yeah, man. I like what I'm seeing right now. Love my kids. Says all professionals getting paid. Everyone is expected to be. No excuses is what I'm thinking saying right there. Now they get paid to play for sure. Stephen R says Rice, Moore, Worthy, Kelsey. Yeah, he got a squad again now. Ian Campbell says fine. Whoever's open, not a number. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Who's ever open? Just yeah. That's what we did. 1980 Soul says, Dash, did you see that Scatter he broke his helmet? I didn't see that. I'm not surprised. Definitely not surprised. Won't be the last helmet that he breaks neither. Ford Expedition says, you're right, Dash. Hyatt is a threat. It's a coach that, listen, people argue with me all the time. They don't believe it at all. Not saying you for it, but when I bring up Hyatt, people laugh. And you know what? I probably would laugh at myself too if I wasn't seeing what I was seeing. Now, when he does get targeted, he got to come down with the ball. That's the difference. Like the team has to be able to trust him. I was so happy in the end zone. At least he got the pass interference. Like at least he got that. So you telling me that we can't get him more targets down the field, so at least he can get the PI. And I hate that too because it seems like he's looking for the PI all the time now, and he needs to get away from that. There was one nice throw actually on those out routes, those little out routes, those 3 that Hyatt got. Those throws were threaded by Dart. Just threaded the needle. Used his hands to catch. Got control. Protected the ball on the way down to the ground. Kept control through the ground. You got to get him involved at some point in time to build his confidence back up. I'm telling, if he would have caught that touchdown, his confidence would have been at an all-time high, and then we probably would have seen a different Jalen Hyatt in this Broncos game. That's just me, though. Ronnie says Daves and boys can't coach. Where's the heavyweight champion of the world? Listen, heavyweight champion of the world. He'll come in here. He'll say, "Woo, fire Dable now." Woo. I ain't seen him yet. I don't think I ain't seen him on any of the comments to my other videos that I put out this week. But he is good for that. William Henry says, Dash, do you remember Willie Golt? He used to be super fast with bad hands. I don't remember Willie Golt. You got to give me a reminder for that. Willie Golt. I don't remember Willie Golt. I probably should remember Willie Golt, but right now it's not ringing the bell. Stephen R. says, give Hyatt OBJ hands plus Landry's route running with his speed. He's a wide receiver one. Listen, if you did that, he'd be the perfect damn one. If he did that, he'll be Randy Moss. If he did that, he'll be Randy Moss. That's hilarious. He'd be Randy Moss if he did that. About 2-3 inches shorter though. NYC TV NYC says no more catering to Hyatt. Stop it. There it is. I told you guys. DCC 219 Hyatt is a bum. I don't care how fast he is. I'm telling you. I don't be lying when I say this stuff. I would believe it too if I didn't see defenses back up when he stepped on the field. I don't know why he still gets the respect that he gets. I don't know why. You can feel this way, DC, NYC. You can feel that way too. If that's the case, when Jalen Hyatt lines up on the field, why do they back up? Why? If he is a bum, why do they back up? Somebody make it make sense to me. I want to believe it. That's what the numbers tell. The numbers tell me that he's a bum. The numbers tell me that Jalen Hyatt is a bum. There's no arguing, debating that at all. But when I watch him play, the cornerbacks back up and they make sure they communicate with the safety. I don't know. Danny, Dallas Cowboys, let's go. He said, what up, cuz? How about them Cowboys? We them boys, because Danny from Santa Monica, California saying hi. Oh, what's going on, Danny? How you doing? I had to look at you with the side eye first. Carmelo says the OL is playing better because they believe in Dart and they've been playing with each other for 2 or 3 years. There is better communication. They are playing better. Again, JMS looks better, and I was ready to throw JMS out. GVR struggling. Father Time has caught up to him. I'm just waiting for them to put in Marcus Bowe. But yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about the offensive line. Why? Because we're able to run the ball, and Jackson Dart has had a clean pocket. That's all you ask for when it comes to the offensive line. Do I need 5 All-Pros on the offensive line? Absolutely not. Andrew Thomas is Andrew Thomas. He's looking like the best version of Andrew Thomas we've seen coming back from that injury. It is what it is. Say, who's asking for help on Hyatt? Do me a favor, right? Go because he only played in the Saints game and then in what's the game we just played in the Eagles game. So it's not like you got to go far or nothing. Go to the Saints game, go to the Eagles game, and watch Jalen Hyatt when he's on the field, and watch what the cornerbacks do when he's on the field. That's it. It makes no sense to me. I'm laughing at it too. It makes no sense to me. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Watch it. Watch it. If I ain't have nothing better to do, I would go ahead and put up some cut-ups and put it on YouTube just to show you guys, like, I'm not crazy. Why the hell are they backing up? Why is the cornerback talking to the safety? Last time I checked, that's Jalen Hyde. He ain't got no yards this season. So why would I need to talk to the safety if it's just Jalen Hyde? It makes no sense to me, but they do it. You guess what? Ask somebody better than me. Why they do that? Why are they looking at the safety and communicating with the safety when they're guarding Hyde? Because at the end of the day, Hyde ain't got no catches. What are they doing it for? I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. I wish I had a better answer. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson. Hey Dash, was traveling now tuning in. What a win. Glad I was present for it. That's a fact. You were in the building, Mark. Remember the conversation we had, Mark? He was like, you know what? You was thinking about the game. You're like, this. I know you had fantastic seats and everything. Well, hopefully that worked out for you where you were able to get the on-field stuff and all that. I think you said pregame on-field and all that stuff. Hopefully you got a chance to get that whole package and stuff like that, right? What a game. And to be there live, to watch it, I'm jealous, Mark. I'm jealous. William Henry says, Dash, look at this wide receiver lineup. Neighbors, Humphrey, Montrell, Washington, Slayton, Robinson. That sounds like a realistic lineup for the New York Giants. Now, Montrell Washington, again, we fell in love with Montrell Washington in the preseason. He didn't, I don't know if we gave him an invite to the practice squad or what. He ended up not, being on our practice squad. I don't know where he is right now. I tell you what, I would like to have him on the roster right now. But I think next year it's going to look a lot different because if we're bringing Robinson back, we got to pay him. Slayton got his money already. If we're going to bring back little Jordan Humphrey, we got to pay him real money and not, whatever the vet minimum is or whatever. But it won't be a practice squad salary. I think it costs $40,000 to bring Humphrey up for a game. That's how much they paid to get Humphrey on that field. Seth Dawkins says, I want Olave. Luann says, I like Humphrey. He's pretty good. He's a big body wide receiver. William Henry says, or bring in Juice Wells. I still can't find Juice Wells. Somebody tell me where he is. I thought he was on the practice squad. I was surprised when I looked and saw he wasn't on the practice squad. I don't know where he is right now. Somebody call him up. Tell him the Giants was looking for him. Stephen R. says, Olave does fit the CTE offense we got with Scat and Dart. Nah, that's a fact. That's hilarious, too. Willie says Galt was the wide receiver for the Bears the year that they won the Super Bowl with Ditka. Yeah, I don't remember Galt. Listen, I'm no spring chicken, but I don't remember 80s football like that. I was little. I was 3 years old when the Giants won their first Super Bowl in '86. Actually, I was 2 years old, about to be 3 years old when they won. I remember the '90s Super Bowl because I was old enough to look at what I was looking at and know what was going on. I don't remember Willie Galt. Sorry. Ian Campbell says you have to respect the speed. Listen, man. I don't know, man. And listen, I'm not fighting for Hyde, trust. I just know when I look at this wide receiver room right now, that's who we got. That's who we got to ride with. That's who we rocking with. And coming from where I'm from, you ride with who you ride with. Weaknesses and all. That's who we got. We got to ride with them. John Ross ran a 4.2 and nothing in the league. Speed don't make you nice. I'm not calling Hyde a number one wide receiver. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. I remember John Ross against the Saints catching a deep pass from Daniel Jones. I could take one of those right now. It is what it is. I'm not looking for Jalen Hyde to be some breakout wide receiver. I wish he would be. I mean, I'm not unrealistic here. I'm just saying when I watch, people back up. It is what it is. Use them. If you're going to use them, use them. If you're going to use them as a decoy, use them. I think, I'm going to tell you something about myself, right? At the end of the day, for me, it's the Giants over any individual player. Because at some point in time, that player's going to be gone. That player's going to retire. It doesn't matter. What's best for the Giants is best for the Giants. I don't care about individual players. If you're asking me to pick between Jackson Dart and the Giants, I'm picking the Giants. Luckily for me, Jackson Dart is on the Giants. So that's how I feel. Jalen Hyatt is a Giant. I'm going to root for him. Darius Slayton is a Giant. I'm going to root for him. If Darius Slayton left the team last year, guess what? Or next year, I'm not rooting for him. I love Saquon Barkley. He went to the Eagles. I can't stand him. When Odell Beckham left, I was upset. But once he went to the Browns, I don't care anymore. That's where I'm coming from. I don't play fantasy football. I don't care about individual stats. I want to win the game at the end of the day. The New York Giants can win the next 11 games 10-7. And I wouldn't give a damn. Why? Because we won the damn game. But I'm just saying, to answer your question, when I'm seeing Jalen Hyatt and he's stepping on the field and the man got 17 yards for the season, no touchdown since he got here, why is this cornerback looking at the safety and communicating with him if he's not a threat? I'll tell you this. Play single high safety. Make it one-on-one with Jalen Hyatt. See what happens. Just throw the ball down there. See what happens. I'm pretty sure he's running under that ball. It is what it is. Seth says, got to give up, Dash. Hyatt's not good. Been 3 years. Fine. Put somebody else out there. Put somebody else out there. I just explained to everybody. As long as you got on that blue jersey and you on that field, I'm going to root for you. I'm not going to root for you to be bad. I'm not going to root for you to be awful. I'm not going to root for you to drop balls. I'm not going to call you names. I might be mad at you and say something that say that you need to improve or do something better. I might yell at you to get off the field. But when you're on the field, quarterback says hike, I'm rooting for you. That's it. That's it. Mark says, I met LT, Eli, etc. Fabulous spot to watch the game from. Listen, Mark, now you stunting on us, Mark. Now you stunting on us because I already know you met Tibbs, you met Brian Burns, and this is just this year. Now you met LT, you met Eli. Listen, let me tell you something. Next time you meet somebody, give me an autograph, man. Give me an autograph and send it to me. Send me an autograph, man. I need an autograph, LT. I got the bobblehead. I got the Funko LT up here. And for all the people up there, I got LT. What is it at? I got LT and I got LT and I got Odell Beckham still up there. Rom J says, what about Cambry? I would love to see Cambry. I'm not against seeing anybody right now. I'm not against seeing right now is this part of the season. If you have any kind of rapport with Jackson Dart, if he feels comfortable with you, give him a shot. We gave Bo Collins a shot. It didn't work. Dalen Cambry. Let's see what happens. If Jalen Hyatt is not contributing, get him off the field. Bring in Dalen Cambry. Go get Isaiah Hodgins if you feel like it. Go get Gabe Davis if you feel like it. Go get Allen Robinson. Go get Juice Wells. Go get anybody. I'm not worried about if Hyatt never plays a snap again. Imagine if I actually cared about that. I don't care. But when you're on that field, I care. I absolutely care. So I'll call you after the pod. Okay, Mark. Ronnie Rivers says, I'm fighting for Hyatt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dash Hyatt has 294 receiving yards since being a Giant. Bob Papa and Carl Banks was talking about him 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's absolutely disappointing. Here's the thing. Um, his rookie year, they used him. He performed. Cardinals game, right out of halftime, deep shot. Daniel Jones, if he throws that ball a little bit better, that's a touchdown. The Green Bay game with Tommy DeVito, good game. The New England game, good game. Then 2024 happened. The man didn't have enough snaps to register a grade on PFF. So you got the 2023 season where he actually played, and then you have the 2024 season. I think he had 8 targets on the season. No wonder he sucks. He was in the doghouse. We got Malik Neighbors. He became an afterthought. The funny thing is this. The majority of the yards that he got, the targets that he got last year is when Slayton was not playing against Carolina. And what did he do? When they used him, he produced. Same people told me Daniel Bellinger sucked. I haven't forgotten about these people. I watched Justin Pinnock say we should trade Daniel Bellinger. He does nothing for the team. And I'm not even throwing him under the bus because I said it to his face on Twitter, under his comments. I said the same thing for Daniel. I said all Daniel Bellinger needs is the targets. And people, Daniel Bellinger's awful. He's terrible. He hasn't done nothing. What happens when you throw Daniel Bellinger the ball? I'll wait. Let me know what happens when you throw Daniel Bellinger the ball. Anybody. What happens when you throw Daniel Bellinger the ball? What happened in the game when they threw Jalen Hyatt the ball? He had 4 targets, 3 catches. He dropped one in the end zone, so did Jordan Humphrey. You know who else dropping balls? Theo Johnson. Come on, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. When Jalen Hyatt is no longer a Giant, then fine. It's over. But as long as he's wearing that blue, we're going to root for him. Shout out to my man, Bookend Tackles. He says, Belly, our best tight end. I still believe that. When Theo Johnson dropped that third down pass that hit him right in the hands, went right to Twitter. I said, Daniel Bellinger doesn't drop that pass. Because I really don't think he would. But but despite how I feel about Daniel Bellinger being the tight end 1, that don't stop me from rooting for Theo Johnson, because I know right now, looking at this wide receiver room, our best bet to beat any of these teams is using the tight end. That's what we got to do. Ronnie says, yep, Dable needs to stop being a bully and work with him. Listen, he got to earn his trust back, man. Hyatt ended up in the doghouse for a reason. He was in the doghouse. It was his fault. He got to work his way out of the doghouse. Luckily for him, Darius Slayton goes out there forced to use him. But because they're forced to use him, they're saying, okay, well, this out route works for Jalen Hyatt. And you know why that out route worked for Jalen Hyatt? Because the cornerback was playing 8 yards off of him. Afraid to get beat deep. And what happened? They threw it short. And he was open 3 times. It's all about strategy at the end of the day. If the coaches could coach, we'll see more of that. We'll see more of that. You want to play 8 yards off? We'll throw the slant. You want to respect the speed? We'll run a deep dig. We'll run the comeback route. We'll snap off and run it out. Speed out. Why? because they want to respect the speed so much. Come on, man. You can't be the Blitnikoff winner in college and then be an absolute scrub. That's a coaching problem. Now, if you get the targets and you start dropping the balls, then it's on you. If we can't trust you to run the routes, then it's on you. If we can't trust you to be in the right place, then it's on you. It's a love-hate relationship with Jalin Hyatt, and I respect it. And I'm not mad at anybody that feels any different. You want to call him a bum, call him a bum. That's fine with me. It ain't me at the end of the day. It ain't me at the end of the day. Shout out to the 177 people still in the building. Please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you are a New York Giants fan that bleeds blue, subscribe to this channel. You won't be sorry. Ronnie Rivers says, let's hit the like button. We should be at 170 at least. Yeah, that's not how it works. I wish it worked that way. I wish that everybody would hit the like button as soon as they come in. It doesn't work that way. It is what it is. Listen, I appreciate everybody that's in here just vibing. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Nah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Anytime I get a chance to quote Jay-Z, I will do that. Shout out to New York. Shout out to Hove. MKM says the Giants should have won against the Saints. That's a fact. We'll be 3-3 right now if that happened. We'll be 4-2 if Shane Bowen doesn't drop the safeties back to the 50-yard line against Dallas. Imagine that. We could really be 4-2 right now if those two things happen. And it's not even far-fetched. And it's not even asking a lot. If we hold on to the ball instead of 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions, in all honesty, every time we fumbled the ball, it looked like we were heading in for a score. That's the game right there. We could have dropped 40 points on the damn Saints. We should have beat the Dallas Cowboys 37-34. That should have been a walk-off home run for Malik Neighbors. Walk-off touchdown, but walk-off home, y'all know what I mean. I can't cry over spilled milk, though. But shout out to everybody. Again, I love these conversations. I love the debates. That's what it's about, being a fan. We can't agree on everything. Why would I want it like that? That's how we learn from each other. It makes me go back and reflect. Michael Knight, I did go back. I listened to it last night, to the Mobb Deep album. I remember you said that. When I went to go pick up my son from work, I listened to it on the way there and on the way back. I like it. Sound like old Mobb Deep too, just on newer beats. I liked it. It ain't better than that Clips album though. It ain't better than that Clips album though. Stephen R says 5 turnovers, cut it to 3. That game we should win. Dallas BS. Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Bookend Tackle said, woo. What you say woo for? What you say woo for? John Davis says, appreciate you, bro. I'm still feeling this win against the Eagles. I was wearing my to work on Friday. Listen, man, again, when you got that cup of coffee at work, how'd you feel? Did anybody ask you how you felt? I had teams meetings that I was in on Friday morning, and before the meeting even started, I put in, how about them Giants? I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. Work meetings. How about them Giants? The first comment in all these work meetings I was in. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I kid you not. I kid you not. They know I'm a Giants fan there. They know how much stuff I've been through. Shout out to Joseph Clark in the building with the $1.99 super chat. Says game felt like a turning point and not a one-off. It wasn't fluky at all, Joseph. It wasn't fluky at all. The Giants dominated for 4 quarters. And even when the Eagles took the lead, I was never scared. I told you that and I lied. I was still nervous. Wasn't scared, but I was nervous. I was clenched up. Pause in the 4th quarter. Nah, man, no, it wasn't fluky at all. Offense, defense, special teams. They did their job. Complimentary football. We got the job done. Last time I checked, A.J. Brown played. Devontae Smith played. Saquon Barkley played. Jalen Hurts played. Dallas Goedert played. All these guys played. And we beat them. So any Eagles fan that want to talk about, oh, we were hurt. Landon Dickerson. Quinyon Mitchell left. All that stuff. Forget it. They can't say that to you. The only surprise for that game was Quinyon Mitchell leaving early. That's it. Bookie, and that's a fact, belt to ass. We still celebrating this win. I am somebody said I couldn't sleep at all Thursday night or Friday night. You ain't got to pause that. You ain't got to pause that at all. No pause needed. Tell him, Jonathan Pride, no pause needed on that one. MKM says, cry, Eagles, cry. That's a fact. Imagine if we get that broom out in 2 weeks and sweep them. Listen, we sweep the Eagles. Like, we got to take care of business with the Broncos, of course. I'm not overlooking the Broncos. Please hear me out. I'm not. But if we bring that broom out and we sweep the Eagles this year at the link, an Eagle fan can't tell me anything for a year. I don't care if we miss the playoffs. I don't care if they win another Super Bowl. And I hope to God they don't. But I got the bragging rights if we bring out the broom and sweep those guys. Said, Bo gonna be a dad. What you talking about, Hirsch? Bo expecting the baby? Lux ZG says, love the energy you keep bringing every day. We need that positive energy, but that truth too. You give it to us all the time, and we're appreciating Big Dash for real. Now, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love and support. We're over the 2-hour mark, man, and it's crazy because we don't even have a game tomorrow. When I stepped in the room today, I said, this might be a short show. I might just do an hour, but we in here vibing, man, and we still vibing, and that's crazy because it's almost tomorrow. I hope everybody does appreciate this, man. I love talking to you guys, man. I love talking Giants football with you guys. It's fun for me. It's fun. I wish I could do this for a living, full time. YouTube ain't paying like that though. MKM says Giants making the playoffs. I hope so. Hayes Windu says AJ will crash out if the Giants sweep the Eagles. I'm waiting for it, man. Did you see him on the bench? Him and Devontae Smith having that conversation with their mouths covered. You saw it. I put up the clip. They said, "Hey Devontae, that man Jalen Hurts is a bum. How did he miss you like that? We was moving the ball early, man. What happened? What's wrong with this guy?" In my mind, that's what they were saying. Almost said, I'm almost sad Giants aren't playing tomorrow. That's funny. MKM says Eagles got embarrassed. Darnell D says victory weekend. Yeah, that's a fact. Forget just victory Friday, victory weekend. We even gonna have victory Monday. What John Mara say after the game? He told those players, see you on Monday. See you on Monday. That means right now the New York Giants are doing whatever they're doing right now. And again, I'm going to say this too. I'm going to say this. Because again, it's been proven. I don't know if they watch me at all. Shout out to Jahad Ward, though. Jahad Ward is the only guy that confirmed that he did watch me. Shout out to Jahad Ward. Did it on Instagram a couple years ago before he left. Because I gave him a shout out when he left. So we do know that the Giants do watch these shows, man. And I will say this, man. And I'm gonna close this thing out too. So, Giants players, Giants staff, Giants coaches. If you're absolutely bored with whatever you're doing, and you're tuned in right now, you see this New York Giants community. You see the Big Blue Nation is what I like to call them. You see us out here showing you some love, showing you some support. What you guys did against the Eagles is what we believe you guys can do moving forward. Complimentary football. I love that. I love the energy that Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo are bringing. We got the rookies out here leading this team right now, going toe for toe with Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence. I see it. Sights for Sound showed you Cam Scatterboo and Brian Burns that exchange saying, "We got you, Zero." And Brian Burns said, "We got you too." That's how this team is supposed to be. And the fan base feels that energy. And you don't have to worry about boos at MetLife as long as you guys are playing the way that you guys are playing right now. The New York Giants family, the crowd, the fans, we have been going through this for a long time. Have some grace for us. Yes, we're still going to boo when we see bad plays because we got PTSD, respectfully. But just know at the end of the day that there's a lot of support for you guys from this fan base. Offense, for even if we criticize guys like Wandell, even if we criticize guys like Bellinger and the offensive line, even when we criticize you guys, it's coming from a place of love because we're tired of losing. And we finally see a team, a product on the field that we can be proud of. And you're giving us something to cheer for. So with that being said, thank you very much so far this season. You got a couple, you got a bunch of games left in this season. Keep on developing. The coaching staff, if you guys are watching, keep doing what you need to do. Shane Bowen, if you're watching, Shane Bowen, I wish you were watching. If I can pick somebody to watch this live right now, it'd be Shane Bowen. Shane Bowen, you came from Tennessee. A lot of people said that you rode on the coattails of Mike Vrabel, that it was really Mike Vrabel's defense. I need you to prove those people wrong. I need you to prove me wrong thinking that you can't make adjustments in games. I need you to prove Spencer Rattler wrong saying that the defense is so vanilla. The New York Giants have players on this team right now, this defense, we can be top 5. The New York Giants look like they got a franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. Prove us right. And Wandell Robinson, also Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton, you can't talk trash to us and not perform on the field. I'm not giving up on you, Darius Slayton. I don't think the quarterback's giving up on you, Darius Slayton. So next time you get a chance, take care of business. Because we saw everybody else take care of business against the Eagles while you was resting your hamstring. I say that respectfully too. But yeah, man, I'm still enjoying this win. Still victory weekend. I'm going to steal that from you. Appreciate that. I do got a $10 super chat. Love my kids said Rex Ryan had an off-season learning camp, East Coast, West Coast at Mark Sanchez's house. Hold on. Rex R. I'm assuming you mean Rex Ryan. Had an off-season, learning camp, East Coast, West Coast at Mark Sanchez's house. What? The 7-day camp had nothing to do with football, just connecting and learning each other. Necessary. Oh, you talking about when he was a coach. Got you. I got you. Now, you lost me for a second. I got you now. Now, we saw it, man. What did they say? They said Brian Burns and them said they had a players-only meeting. And we saw a good performance on the field from them. Despite, in some cases, the coach is not putting them in the best position. And again, once this coaching gets better, the play on the field will get even better. And when that happens, it's going to be scary. It's going to be spooky times in the NFC East. Because if that happens, the New York Giants are back. The New York Giants are back. Isaac Moore says these Giants have chemistry. That's a fact. You know what else the New York Giants have too right now that we've been waiting for, Isaac? And Isaac, you've been rocking with me for a long time. It looks like they have an identity. It looks like they finally have an identity. And guess what? We thought Malik Neighbors was the leader of this team because he was the best player on this team. No. You have a rightful leader now. The leader of the team is always going to be the quarterback. Good teams, the leader is always going to be the quarterback. And we're seeing that right now, too. Might be a quarterback and a running back, too. Bookend, that's a fact. These players love JD. They love CS. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo. Bluey said, what about Cambry with that 4.43 speed, 6 foot, crazy one-handed catches? We got to see him on the field. He's still on the practice squad. He's there. Stephen R. said the identity to run through a wall. Now, that's crazy. That's a fact. They put up the clips. They got him headbutting walls, man. Said he was running into telephone poles when he was a kid. That's hilarious. But I also believe him. Absolutely believe him. But we're going to get out of here, man. We already hit the 2-hour mark. We're actually 15 minutes over the 2-hour mark. No game tomorrow. We get to relax and watch football. For the people that watch football all together, not just Giants football, you should have a fantastic, stress-free day tomorrow. I got the NFL package. I'm going to be watching 4 games on the screen whenever I can tomorrow. All day. Football all day. Got the early game too as well. Going to be watching that too. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.